Hello Math 9s. Here is our first video about multiplying and dividing polynomials. Couple things right away. If you're working from home, you're going to want to go to the mathclips.ca website and use their virtual algebra tiles. And if you go, there's a video I've made, MA9 5.5, on how to use the MathClips site to multiply polynomials. You guys should have hopefully gotten a sheet like this from me or from your teacher if someone else is your teacher. On one side it's got instructions on how to use algebra tiles to multiply polynomials, and on the other side it shows how to use algebra tiles to divide polynomials. In the 5.5 video it goes through the example from this sheet but using the virtual tiles. So that's you can use those together. Okay, so let's follow the instructions on this sheet. Step 1 says draw the left and top edges of the rectangle. Obviously make sure you're on the multiply side. Okay, so we're going to draw the left and top edges. Grab some kind of straight edge. I usually use a ruler, but that doesn't fit in this space I'm using here to do the video. So I'm going to use this piece of cardboard here as my left and top edge. There we go. Okay, and then the rest of part 1 says we need to use the tiles to measure out these two side lengths, so 3 and 4. So I'm going to put 3 over here. So you remember these are 1s. 1 and 1, and I'm going to label that as 1, 1, 1 like that. Notice I do not label it 1, 2, 3. I'm labeling the distance from here to here. So notice your 1 does not go at the tick, it goes on the distance between these two ticks is 1. Okay, and now I'm going to do the distance 4 up top. So there's a 1, there's another 1, there's another 1, there's another 1, and we don't need those. Okay, step 2 says complete your rectangle with tiles. Okay, so remember we talked way back in 5.1 about the fact that algebra tiles are based on length times width. So here I've got a length of 1 and a width of 1, which means my area is going to be 1. Okay, and again here I've got 1 times 1 is going to be another 1, and obviously these are all going to be 1s. So I'm just going to fill this all in. Let's see here. There we go. There we go. So I filled it in. And then step 3 says count the tiles you used to find the answer. So not surprisingly, 3 times 4 equals 12. Who knew? Okay, and now we're just going to, for the notes, and you guys will have to do this for your notes, test quizzes and stuff, draw lines in to show where the tiles were. There we go. And there we go. So that would get you full marks on a test or quiz. 3 times 4 equals 12 with the 1s, labeling the sides, and then showing me where the tiles were to show that you actually got 12 tiles. Okay, next one. We've got 3 times 2x. So you remember step 1 is we're going to draw the left and top edges. Notice if you can use a ruler or something like this that has a nice right angle on it, then you get a nice right angle for your left and top edge. Okay. One of the sides is going to be 3, the other one's going to be 2x. It doesn't really matter which one you label as 3 and which one is 2x, unless you're trying to fit it on this page. In which case, if I put 3 here, then 2x is going to be really long on this side, and we don't want that. So let's start by labeling this side as 3. Same as up above, we go 1, 1, 1. And then you remember the green French fries are x long. So I'm going to go from there to there, and again I'm going to measure the length. Right there is x. And I'm going to measure the length right there is x. Oh, and I did a good job of guessing there. I don't really have any extra. Okay, and again we need to, step 2, use our tiles to make a rectangle. And again, algebra tiles are about length times width, so this is 1 times x equals x, which is a green French fry. And in fact, all of those are going to be 1 times x. So I'm going to use only green French fries to fill this in. There we go. So 3 times 2x, I needed 6 green French fries to fill that in. So my answer is 6x. Okay, I'm going to have you guys pause the video and draw in where those tiles used to be, the same as I did up here with my ruler. And I'm not going to bother doing it because that'll waste time on the video. Okay, let's have a look at C. Same thing again. Got 2 times x plus 1, so I'm going to draw on my left and top edge. There we go. One of the sides is 2. And again, I'll remind you guys, you should be pausing and rewinding if this is going too fast for you, which I wouldn't be surprised if it is, because it's brand new stuff. So it takes a little while to absorb it. Okay, so one of the sides was 2 there, 1 and 1. This side's x plus 1, so there's x. And then I need one more. That side length is 1. And this stuff's all extra, so I'll just scribble it out. There we go. And a little bit extra there. And again, we need to fill the tiles in. 1 times x is x. 1 times x is x. 1 times 1 is 1. And 1 times 1 is 1. And now step 3, what tiles did we use? Well, we used 2 green French fries and 2 little white ones. So that's going to equal 2x plus 2. There we go. One more to do with tiles, and then we'll go on to the next page. Here we go. This time we've got 2 times x minus 3. A bit weird with the minus. We'll see how that works out. So one of my sides is going to be 2. So I'll go 1, 1. Notice you can use the green French fries or the little white ones to do a spacing of 1, because they're obviously the same length. Okay, and then I've got a bunch extra there. And then I've got x minus 3. Let's put out x first. Now I got minus 3. Well, we want to remember that we can think about this as the same as x plus negative 3. Which means I can put a negative 3 over here. So I'm going to go negative 1, negative 1, and negative 1. There we go. And again, length times width, 1 times x, x, 1 times x, x, 1 times negative 1. Well, that's negative 1. And remember, we're going to show that by making this guy red. And in fact, all of these guys over here are all going to be 1 times negative 1s. So they're all going to be red. There we go. Okay, and I'm actually going to draw this one in this time. And I need to remember that because these were red, I need to give them a little shade. It's not art class, you just need to show me that they're shaded. That is good enough, even though it's messy like everything I do. Okay, one of the reasons I wanted to show you how to fill this in was to remind you to fill in the negatives. The other was, I want to talk about how can we do these without the tiles. And notice, over here I've got 1 and 1, but if I wanted to, I could think about it as 2. Here I've got just x, and over here I've got negative 3. Okay, and again we'll talk about the length times width. Here we've got 2 times x. Well, we ended up with 2 green French fries, which is 2x. And here we've got 2 times negative 3, gave us negative 6. So if we wanted to, we could just write these outside numbers and then the inside numbers in x's without actually doing the tiles. So that is what we're going to do on the next page. Find the products using a chart. And notice step 1 is we need to label our left and top edges. And in this case, our left and top edges, one of them is going to be 2, the other one's going to be 3x plus 5. Obviously, I need to put the 2 here and the 3x and the 5 there, or else it's not going to fit. That is a horrible 3. I apologize. And notice you can put the plus 5 there or just leave it as 5. Both are fine. And same as we did at the bottom of the last page, we've got 2 times 3x. It's going to be 6x, and 2 times 5 is 10. So 2 times 3x plus 5 is going to equal 6x plus 10. Do the same thing for b. You guys might want to pause this and try it yourselves. The left edge has to be negative 3. The top is going to be negative 2x and 5. Negative 3 times negative 2x is 6x. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. So I end up with 6x minus 15. Okay, on tests and quizzes, I'm never going to give you guys these charts, but if you like using them, then you can just draw your own. I recommend when you draw your own chart, just draw in these dark lines here. Don't bother with the other stuff, and then you can just put the numbers on the outside, or in the x's and stuff. So in this case, because I've got a trinomial here, I'm going to need 3 boxes. That ruler is not see-through, and that made that kind of hard to do. Okay, there we go. So yeah, just draw in the 3 boxes, and then you can put your stuff on the outside. So we're going to put a 3 here, negative x squared, 2x, and negative 5 there. And then we've got 3 times negative x squared is going to be negative 3x squared. 3 times 2x is 6x. And 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. So this guy is going to equal negative 3x squared plus 6x minus 15. Okay. And now, some of you have probably noticed that all this chart is doing is it's just taking everything inside the brackets and multiplying it by 3. That's all we did here. We just took everything inside the brackets and multiplied it by 3. So I can do that without a chart. I need to take 7x and multiply it by 4. So I'm going to draw a little rainbow thing in there like that to show that I went 4 times 7x. Gave me 28x. And then I'm going to go show that I need to multiply 2 by 4, which is 8. So I got 28x plus 8. And again, why don't you guys pause it, try b by yourselves. Okay, here we go. So I've got negative 3 times negative 3x squared. It's going to be negative 9x squared. Negative 3 times negative 2y. It's going to be positive 6y. Negative 3 times 5x. Negative 15x. And negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. Okay, and let's just double check our order here. This is degree 2, degree 1, degree 1, degree 0. So they're in a good order. Perfect. And there is your assignment at the bottom of the page, which you should already have if you've got the page. Have fun. Oops.